Your copy.
Originality is overrated. It sometimes leaves me a little bit jaded to hate what I make for the fact that 98% other people will make comparisons. Other people bigger. It's hilarious that people think it just sucks. I mean,
Hey there guys, before you say anything, the beginning was a joke. So I decided, let's go back and read some of the comments on that Smash Ultimate League video that I made a while back, and kind of just see how people reacted to the entire thing. And yeah, because I thought it was kind of gonna have like an interesting divide thing going on, because there was before and after Isabelle, and I knew, generally speaking, that before Isabelle there was going to be a lot of skepticism, which makes sense because, well, let's be honest, Smash has leaks way too fucking often, and you can never really tell which one is real and which one isn't, especially after the artsy Omni Rayman thing. It's kind of hard to say, and it's also even harder to believe a leak when it's just text, or if it's just someone saying shit, which is, you know, where I fall under. So, I totally understand that. But, you know, then there's going to be a point where after Isabelle's announcement, which was, keep in mind, my evidence was that the next character reveal was going to be Isabelle. And that's exactly what happened. So I felt that, you know, there was a sort of level of, there was going to be a divide in the comments, basically. One side being very skeptical, and the other side being maybe partially skeptical, but also being more positive as a whole. So I thought it'd be fun to kind of just look at the comments, see how people reacted, and I'll just kind of reply to it. So, yeah, without further ado, I'm just going to pull up the comments really quick. I'm going to go by older comments first, so most of the comments I'm probably going to read it. I'm assuming it's going to be negative. So let's go with that. My boy Shifty, congrats on 100. I'm assuming you're talking about subs, and if that's the case, thank you. Thank you. That really means a lot. I got Mandy Lee Plays. Damn, I didn't know Isabelle could fight. This happened before the announcement, so this is just kind of like just surprised that that could happen. And then there was a reply where I say, "Did you know Villager could fight?" I get the point. You know, Villager, and there's a lot of characters in Smash that really can't fight in their own games, but yeah, you'd be surprised. Like, Sakurai could pretty much just make a moveset out of anyone, really, as long as he feels like it's, I guess, worthy of giving them a unique moveset. Trying to keep it on the low before those Nintendo ninjas get you. I thought this one was just kind of funny. There's really not much to say about this. It's a funny comment. Also, you know, was before Isabelle's announcement. Then I have another comment here that says, I actually want Nintendo to take this video down, which would confirm it in my mind. We did have a little conversation on the comments there, but it basically boiled down to they would take down any information they didn't want people to know, and my belief at the time was, you know, they wouldn't really care too much about a video that, you know, has very little views from a tiny channel that no one has ever heard of. But he mentions that, you know, there has been videos with only 250 views of Smash 4 that got taken down. Now, that's true, but from what my personal understanding of it was that the videos that got taken down from Smash 4 is because they had some kind of, like, leaked gameplay, right? So, I remember when Bowser Jr.'s gameplay was shown early. I think that was sometime after the ESRB leak. I am not entirely sure on that, but that's what I'm remembering off the top of my head. And I remember those videos being taken down. I remember them being taken down pretty quick, but people, you know, people download the video, they re-upload it, or they re-upload it on a forum where they can't take it down from YouTube or whatever it is. And I remember that. And I think how it works is if you show evidence, like in the moment that is like just completely real, like leaked gameplay, for instance, then Nintendo would take it down instantly, right? Because then there's no questioning it there, right? But if you have some asshole with a mic, which is basically what I am, just saying shit and saying that it's real, even if it is real, I think Nintendo won't take it down, because then if you do, it basically confirms it in the mind of the fans, right? And then they start taking it more seriously. The only reason why other leakers that just say shit are believed in this point in time, I think, is because what they say end up happening, and then people look, they come back to what that person said and said, oh shit, that person was legit, right? That's what I think happens. So I don't really think Nintendo would take down the video. Honestly speaking, I think Nintendo might not even take down the video indefinitely. Like, I think that video is gonna stay up for a really long time and just not even be touched for the most part. So there's that, right? Moving on though to the next comment. Okay, so I got about like 3 comments in a row that I'm basically gonna read back to back because they all basically say the same thing. They say, so your source is literally Vergeben. This has all been known from him already. The second says he leaks, quote unquote, Isabel, Ken, and Incineroar. And the third one says literally no evidence, just copying Vergeben. So I want to start off by saying that the obvious, I did not copy Vergeben, right? But I also want to say, like, I have no ill will towards Vergeben, so I don't want people to think like I have like some kind of negative feelings to the person or whatever it may be. I don't whatsoever, right? This is more just like talking about like the fact that there have been people who kind of just accuse me of copying Vergeben, or just saying that I'm just taking Vergeben's information and kind of claiming it as my own. Here's the issue with that. So to my knowledge, right, and I did do a bit of research and talk to friends who also keep track of Vergeben and what he has said. And to my knowledge, what he has said was basically he confirmed Isabel, he confirmed Ken, and he hinted at a Gen 7 Pokemon that wasn't Decidueye, Lycanroc, and someone else I'm forgetting, right? The issue is the part about me saying Isabel and Ken be in the game. Fair enough. That coincides with what Vergeben says. So I can see why you would think I'm taking his information and just claiming it as my own, right? However, he never specifically says Incineroar. He hints it because he kind of just like says it's not this Pokemon, it's not that Pokemon, right? And the popular theory, if you go to like any Smash YouTuber or any YouTuber generally who's talking about who they think that might be, or you go to forums or anything, the popular theory is Incineroar. And you'd be right. It is going to be Incineroar. But you can't take a popular fan theory and attribute it to a leaker who hinted in that direction, because then essentially any leaker could be very vague in a description of a character, and then if it happens to slightly go in that direction, then you're just going to end up giving credit to someone who might have gotten lucky in some capacity. But I don't believe Vergeben got lucky. I believe he is a genuine leaker. I do believe that he has real sources that know information about the game, because there's just no way somebody could be right that often, right? So I totally understand that. Keep in mind though, I don't have any negative feelings towards those comments because they happened before the Isabel announcement, so there actually was no evidence, as one of them mentioned. But I also want to point out that when Vergeben first started putting out leaks of Smash, he didn't have evidence either. And when you first start putting leaks out there, there's no evidence, and that's just how it works. And at the time, no one really paid mind to Vergeben either, from what I understand. So I totally get it. I get why you'd be skeptical. So I don't, feel bad in any way. Like, it makes sense why you'd be skeptical. There's so many leaks out there. Only a handful can be real, right? But take it this way. Now that the Isabel announcement has happened and has basically confirmed what I was saying was legit, and I legitimately have a source at Nintendo. Take this for what it's worth. If Vergeben, someone I don't really know, like I don't know this person personally at all, and they obviously don't know me personally, and we both have sources, and those sources are both saying the same characters, you can kind of just look at that as stronger evidence or stronger case for Ken and Incineroar, right? So that's basically how I look at it as someone that has a source. As someone who has very little reason to believe every leak you see, I can understand why you wouldn't see it that way. But that's beside the point. Then I've had somebody say, first off, his source isn't. They write Vergeben in a very interesting way, saying a few things that someone has said previously with stuff that's in direct opposition to what said individual claimed is far from copying. Besides, Verg's been copying stuff people said forever. now, you eggs. So clearly this is someone who who I believes what I had to say at the time, and was kind of fed up seeing the other comments, I suppose. The only thing I can say is you know, be civil, you know, that kind of thing. But I guess I don't really have much to say on this comment, honestly. I thank you for the support. I'll say. Yeah, and I don't know every single thing Vergeben has ever said, so I don't want to go out and say like anything about the person and their sources or anything like that, because I do believe they have legitimate sources. But if it's true that some of the stuff I said is in direct opposition of what Verga said, then that's interesting, but I don't know for sure. Now, after that comment, we get into the comments that happened after Isabel's announcement, and basically after, I guess you could say, proof of what I was saying is true and that I do have a source and all that. So at that point, I got some pretty positive comments, I would say, and it's nice. It gives me a nice feeling. So if you're any of these people, thank you. I got someone saying Isabel turns over a new leaf. Thank you. That's I believe that's someone coming back to the video. Guess you win $100. Thank you. Funny enough, no one really took me up on that bet, so I didn't win anything. But after this video, I don't really think anyone's gonna bet me, because unless it's someone who still has, like, you know, skeptical feelings. But yeah, I had someone said, so who's not in? Technically speaking, if we really wanted to say who's not in, there's a lot of characters, but that's pretty much just any. That's a lot of people, you know. That's a lot of characters, so it doesn't really make sense to really go into it, I think. The next comment I got is, dude, do you know anything about Dixie Kong? She's like the only character I want in the game. I haven't heard anything personally, and if I get any more information about Smash Ultimate, I will make more videos in the future. Although I can't say for sure whether or not you know, a certain character made it in that I haven't heard about. So I don't want to, like, you know, give you hope, or, you know, give you false hope or anything like that. I mean, so I don't know. But I did say it in the leak video, and I will say it again here. Just because Ken and Incineroar are the other two characters that I know about does not necessarily mean they are the last two characters for the game. So it's perfectly, like, if you have any characters that you want, it's perfectly possible that they can still get in. I just haven't heard of it specifically. So that's kind of it. Going on to the next comment. This comment says, your information somehow connects with the box theory from the special edition. This may indicate that Ken and Incineroar are our last newcomers, because there won't be enough room on both sides of the box for any more than those two characters. Now, I didn't do, I admit I didn't look into the box theory too much. I know Game Explained did a video about it, so I might check it out after this recording. But, from my understanding, it has something to do with fitting all the characters on, like, the sides of the box, because that's, like, part of the design. And if you go off of the box theory, it basically states there will be 2 more characters. And if that's the case, then that might mean that Ken and Incineroar are the last 2. But again, I didn't do research on the box theory, so I'm not sure. Like, is every character in Smash Ultimate on the box? Like, is that how it is? Because if that's the case, then, and they can only, like, fit 2 more, then that might be the case. But I don't want to, like, you know, guarantee anything, right? It's perfectly possible that certain things might happen that I just don't know about. But, you know, with that being said, the box theory might be accurate. It might not be. I don't know. But, you know, we'll see when, you know, time passes. Like I said, if I hear any more info, I'll make another video telling you guys the new info, and, you know, just kind of go from there. So, if you're subbed, you know, you'll see it eventually. I don't know, but it's totally dependent if I do get more info, so. Then I got a comment. No Dixie, no buy. By Dixie Kong fan. Okay, so clearly you're really campaigning for Dixie Kong. I haven't heard anything Dixie related, so I don't know. I can't confirm anything, so I can't say anything about Dixie. Hopefully, I think you should probably support the game regardless if Dixie gets in, but, you know, that's what I would do if my favorite character didn't get in, although they did, so I can't really speak in that position, or that from that angle. But yeah, moving on to the next comment, though. I did get another, there's only 2 comments left. I got a comment from my good friend Mike's Monster Gaming. Says, man, I guess your source might be legit. Fuck, I really could care less about Incineroar. Ken would be hyped though, but for me, I'm still waiting on Banjo. And I'm gonna tell you, Mike, the same thing I told the other commenter that wants Dixie. I can't confirm anything. I can't, because I haven't heard anything about Banjo in the same vein that I haven't heard anything about Dixie Kong. But, you know, I don't know for sure if these truly are the last 2 characters. And, you know, if they are, then it goes with the box theory. If they aren't, then it's possible we might get Dixie or Banjo. Who knows? As of right now, I don't. I can't say. But, like I said, if I do hear any new info on characters or just anything generally related to Ultimate that hasn't been officially announced yet, then yeah, I'll make a new video talking about it. Although, let me know if you want me to wait until I get a good clump of information to make one longer video about it, or if you'd be okay with me just learning one tiny bit of info and then just making a short video about that, because that kind of gives me an idea how you guys want these videos to be structured. The video with the leak was kind of like a short video, because I just wanted to get the info out without, you know, any fluff. But yeah, that's kind of just it. Let me know, because I'm not quite sure myself. And now the last comment was the most recent comment as of the time of this recording. It was commented about an hour ago. It says, don't believe Marx is a boss. I believe the rest, but it's because it's all shit Verg has said. It seems like the Vergeben thing is a very common, topic on the comments. I guess because, again, there was 2 specific characters that I said that was directly said by Vergeben, while one was like heavily hinted by Verg. This comment did happen after the Isabel announcement, obviously, since it happened like an hour ago of the recording. I don't know if you mean it as like I'm copying Vergeben, or you think that because Verg also said it, that, you know, the fact that it's 2 leakers saying it kind of puts, like, you know, like more evidence on it, if that makes sense. So I don't know if you mean it as, like, you know, a big negative, or I don't know if you mean it as like the other people did, where it was basically a copy, or you just think that, oh, 2 leakers said it, so, you know, there must be some evidence or credit to this, right? I don't know, but the only thing I can say is whether or not you believe Marx is a boss, that's okay, because that's something that hasn't been confirmed yet, so I totally understand that. I guess you believe the rest. I will say this though, like I said earlier in the video, Verg knows a lot, and he is easily easily the most credible leaker that I've seen in the scene, like in general. I know people on Twitter who have sources in Nintendo that was even wrong about Isabel being the next character. They were saying it wasn't going to be Isabel at all. And, you know, I said it was going to be Isabel, and I admit, like, in my position as someone who's new to leaking anything, I was extremely fucking nervous, because there was a part of me that was thinking, like, what if my source is wrong? What did I give them too much credit? Did I, you know, trust them too much? I don't know. But, you know, it ended up being the case, and I was like, oh shit, awesome, you know, cool. I can't say much about whether or not you believe things or not, because, you know, it's subjective, it's all up to you. But just know that some of the shit that was said in the video, Verg, to my knowledge, has not said. The only things in common was, to an extent, Incineroar, to an extent, because again, he hinted it, didn't directly say Incineroar that I know of, and, you know, Ken, basically. Ken is the only one that I think is just like, yeah, that's straight up, you know, the same thing, right? And Isabel as well, but he didn't call Isabel being the next reveal. But yeah, that's basically it. That's all the comments. The only thing I can say is that this was by far the most interesting comment section I've ever had on a video. You know, I've had people comment like support before, and, you know, in this comment section I've had both people commenting support, people asking me questions, and even people being very skeptical and just some of them just accusing me of copying someone. And you know, regardless of how you feel about the video in any capacity, I thank you. Thank you for watching the video. Thank you for, you know, liking. Thank you for commenting. You know, debating it, and you know, keeping the conversation going. Because honestly, like, if I didn't have that happening in my comments, then it probably wouldn't be as interesting. You know, I want to keep the debates going. You know. But that's basically it. If I learn anything new, I'll make a new video, do that whole thing. But for now, I'm just gonna head off and probably play some Hollow Knight. I'm really feeling Hollow Knight right now. But until then, I'll see you guys in the next video. Later.